threatened to blow me to Kingdom Come. It's all a bit much to take in. Well, shucks Buster. Shucks Buster indeed. While Jane has busied herself with something on her phone, you've been keeping a lookout for anything suspicious. So far, nothing has happened. But now, just out of sight, you can hear the telltale sound of a vehicle approaching. You quickly, gently elbow Jane in the ribs to get her attention, and the two of you peek your heads tentatively out of the bush. You watch as an unassuming van pulls up outside the house. You keep watching as an unremarkable person gets out and carries a small pile of mail over to the mailbox, totally unsuspiciously. From this distance, you can't really make out anything about them at all. This isn't nearly as helpful or informative as you had hoped. I mean, they're probably just a normal mail person. This is no good. We can't see anything from all the way over here. I think we might have to resort to one of the more advanced tactics in every detective's arsenal. I propose that we accost this delivery worker, tie them up, and then scrupulously interrogate them for any information they might have. Wow, Jane, you just went from 0 to 100. You guess that would work? Jane seems remarkably unconcerned with the ethical qualms inherent in assaulting a public servant, and at some point, you would have found this extremely alarming. But after a few months at Alternia, you are so accustomed to this kind of thing that the thought of actually disagreeing doesn't even occur to you. Jane gets into position to lead the charge. You reach your hand into a tear in reality, rummage around for a moment, and retrieve a long length of rope from somewhere in Terezi's hive. Hopefully she won't miss it. You mutter a quick prayer of apology to the guardian deities of male workers everywhere, and then, now! The two of you leap from your hiding spot and tackle the hapless stranger just as they are about to climb back into the van. Have at you! Jane is brandishing her trusty spoon as threateningly as any sword. The poor defenseless postman is taken completely by surprise and topples to the ground. You quickly tie their arms and legs and then zap all three of you back out of sight behind the bushes again. Well, I didn't know we were gonna kidnap a freaking person. Then Jane sets to work. She fixes your captive with a cast iron stare and with ruthless efficiency begins to rattle off a relentless stream of astute and insightful questions. Her tongue is like a whip, beating her query into submission. You watch in silent horror as she verbally dismantles this unfortunate soul, piece by fearful piece. It's like watching a dozen interrogation scenes from a dozen gritty crime dramas and noir detective flicks all at once. She pretends to smoking an invisible cigar at one point, seemingly without noticing at all. You don't even have words for what she does with the spoon? Yeah, what about doing good cop, bad cop? We're not gonna do that? When Jane finally pauses to catch her breath, the nameless and faceless courier manages to choke out a few words and spill the beans. It is a scant few beans, you are sorry to say. They say they don't know much. Hell, with a dame roughing them up like that, they can't even remember their own name. But they do remember the mysterious package marked, handled with care, and addressed to the Crocker residence. They say they remember thinking that there was nowhere else the package could have been headed. With a surname like that, it was only fitting. You know, with that big red spoon on the side of the box and everything. Jane doesn't say anything else. She just stands up and unties the prisoner. They are free to go. You flash them a look which you hope says something like, I'm sorry for helping this distressed teenager tie you up in order to satisfy her curiosity, and I appreciate your ongoing public service. But you've never been great at non-verbal communication. A notification rings out from Jane's phone. Perhaps chatting to a friend in this trying time will offer her some comfort. You wander a short distance away, allowing Jane some space to process what's happened. You've learned the hard way that privacy is a fundamental right that should always be respected. How goes the investigation? Did you threaten a retail worker or something yet? OMG, Janie, you did, didn't you? God damn it, we've talked about this. Jane, are you okay? No, I can't believe I'm typing this. The company, my company. It appears that they were the ones who sent the bomb. I can't believe you just realized this? Okay. You were right about them, I suppose. You're being serious right now? You're not pranking me super hard for the mega loads? No, of course not. I'm hardly in a joking mood. Jane, this is great. What? You finally pulled through. The better bitch had the wool over your eyes by no more. So happy. What? No, this is awful. Oh, right. Of course, what I meant was that... will you please just stop talking for a second? I can't think with your endless ruddy face blithering all the time. I nearly died for the umpteenth time this morning, but survived, only to have my entire worldview start to collapse before my very eyes by way of some mysterious time travel magic. She's having a breakdown. Oh my god. Jeez Louise, this is easy for you. In fact, this must be Christmas and birthday come early for all three of you. You finally got what you wanted, which was to prove me wrong. Your insane collective conspiracy about my entire life being part of some evil plot looks like it might just hold water after all. Congratulations! Go on, say what you told me so. Here, I'll even type it out for you to copy and paste, so you don't have to worry about any more whatever face spelling errors. Ass face spelling errors? I told you so. No? Not really sure what to say. You're kind of scaring me. I'm sorry, this is scaring me too. Jane sighs. You guess the conversation must be taking a turn for the heavy, but you can't say for sure. You're feeling good about your decision not to pry into this private discussion. It would truly be some kind of fucked up to intrude at such a vulnerable moment, when people are rarely seen at their best. Well, I don't need to intrude because I already see what they're saying, haha. That sucks to be you, reader. It feels as though I'm in the middle of an ocean. Scratch that. It feels like my whole world is an ocean. Something so immense, so dark, so vast and deep that I can't even begin to imagine what might be beneath the surface. Everything that I have ever known, everything that I've ever been, is sinking down into it and vanishing with nary a trace. And my only solace is to jump of my own volition before I'm pulled under by force. And what? Is someone going to catch me and help me stay afloat? The only float my best friend in the whole world has any familiarity with is flipping cocktails. OMG, Jade, I know you're like being kind of mean and exacerbated right now, but it means a lot to hear that I'm your best friend. I love you, heart. You're kind of focusing on the wrong thing, but sure. Ugh. Rolal, please. I'm only trying to express the depths of my existential confusion over here. The ocean, Lalan. The abyssal, infinite ocean. Can you even imagine what that's like? On second thought, never mind. This whole analogy is contrived and nonsensical and couldn't possibly have any emotional relevance to anyone. Another sigh. God, I'm sorry. I'm not handling this well at all. I mean, to be honest, no. But let's be real. I don't know what precise arrangement of emotional responses would even realistically qualify as, quote, handling this whale? Fish pun for topic appropriateness. Whew. Like, I guess I had like this whole plan for how I get you to accept the truth. And it wouldn't work because, let's be real, I'm a fucking genius. But also, I'm pretty sure that it would have involved blowing up a whole bunch more shit. Or at least mega espacades. How about shenanigans? Oh, you know it. Shenanigans out the ass? The point is, I knew that it would be wild. I mean, it would be hard. I can't even read anymore because she's so drunk. Maybe hazardous to our relationship and or your physical health, but I knew that you were worth it. And also, for what it's worth, I don't give a effing fuck about dunking on your ass. None of us do. With a third and final huff, Jane slumps down on the ground, visibly deflated. All the tempest and fury is gone out of her, and now she's just sitting and gazing glumly at the wall of bubblegum pink on her screen. She seems utterly miserable. You want to comfort her, to offer solace and friendly console in this trying time. There comes a moment in every teen's upbringing when she realizes that the globe-spanning multi-billion-dollar corporation, which is her birthright, has also been responsible for some pretty shady and heinous nonsense, including multiple attempts at her own life. It's just part of growing up. But somehow, you just can't find the words. And maybe it's not your place to comment anyway. Before you can think of something to say, Jane shakes her head and starts typing again. Alright, that's enough sitting around feeling all forlorn. I'm feeling pretty okay actually. No, me, I'm talking about myself. This new reality is one that I simply have to accept, whether I like it or not. And it's no good being glum about it. Especially not if it leads me to mistreat my nearest and dearest. So I'm not gonna be the leader of a worldwide mega corporation, big deal. There are better things to be applying my savvy towards. The friends who have my back, for instance. OMG, Janie, I'm loving this new enthusiasm. I understand I've been remiss in my duties as of late, but that ends now. Where once I had a duty to my heritage, now I have a duty to those who care about me. The call of leadership comes from elsewhere. Oh my OMG. Yes, those words you're typing, meaningful and full poignancy. Okay, this leadership thing came out of nowhere. Just saying. Jane strikes a pose that looks at once determined, bold, fearless, and resolute, and all while still typing furiously away on her mobile. It just goes to show how hard she must have trained for a moment like this. And so, for the first act as a responsible friend with eyes unclouded by the sugary haze of a manipulative baking empire, I say that it ends here. The game in which we've been pawns for years stops today. Yes, hell yeah, yes. I think I've rather got off the idea of games altogether, haven't you? Specifically, the game. Hell fucking wait, what? The alpha! I've decided that I'm not going to participate. You probably can't anyway, because I think it blew up. It's a Crocker Corp product, and it's clearly part of some grand evil scheme or another. It'd be positively suicidal to consider playing it at this point. Well, yes, but what? There's no doubt in my mind about it. Furthermore, as your friend, and as one recently reminded of her duty of care in this regard, I feel like I should strongly advise against any of us playing it, or anyone at all, for that matter. Now that I think about it, it's our solemn responsibility to ensure that nobody ever gets their hand on this game. Just imagine the havoc it could wreak. We've got 1 week before the alpha is due to release. I'm certain we can think up some nefarious schemes to disrupt it in the meantime, if we work together as a team. I trust I'll be able to count on your hacksaw skills, sick, in this endeavor. Sure. Completely accidental lack of excitement, my 6 skills are yours to command. I knew it. You're the best BFFC one could hope for. Jane clears her throat, pockets her phone, and seems to have reached some kind of conclusion. That chat looked from the outside like it was one huge emotional journey from start to finish. You're glad that Jane seems to be feeling better for having had it, whatever they ended up talking about. Sometimes, all you need is a friend to vent things towards, in a healthy and productive manner. I suppose I should thank you again. Without your help, I may never have learned the truth. It's quite possible that I would have lived out the rest of my potentially very short life without another opportunity to see things for what they really were. I don't know how I shall ever repay you. Since nothing today has changed the fact that Jane is ludicrously wealthy, you can think of a great number of ways that she could feasibly repay you, but that might just be pushing it a little too far all at once. So instead, you effortlessly spin some yarn about this being what friends are for, and so on. It's a speech you've given many, many times before. I've depended on you for a great deal, but now I think it's time to forge my own path, and under my own steam. I'll show the world what Jane Crocker can accomplish with naught but her 2 bare hands. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an existential crisis to avert. I think you already averted it. Existential crisis. It should say existential crisis averted. Okay, that's a bit weird. Is it just this one thing? Seems like it. Cooking by the book. You said Jane down the path of leadership. Did I? I kind of feel like it kind of jumped from like nothing and then all of a sudden it's like leadership. But sure, let's say we set her on the path of leadership. So I think there's gonna be 3 more volumes and there's only 3 more kids, right? Because she was talking to Roxy, and then there's gonna be Dirk, and then there's gonna be I forgot his name. Was it Jake or something? But yeah, something like that. Did we go through all the trolls? It felt like we kind of it got all like squashed into the last couple of volumes. But maybe that's how they fit all of them into 14 volumes. I don't know. In any case, I'm glad we didn't get mind control. Found out nothing about the narrative thing though, so I don't know where that plot line has gone. Hopefully they resolve it somehow in the upcoming remaining volumes. Like 3 seems like a really small amount to finish all your stories, but I don't know, I'll have to see. But for now, this is it for our journey with Jane, and I'll see what happens in the next upcoming volumes. So Thank you guys so much for watching this, and I'll see you in the next volume. Oh god, oh god. Monster, 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 monster. Was that my partner? Was that fucking Kyle? Oh shit.